Yeah, hi. We're filming a video. Yeah, oh hi. Today we're taking a look at how we saved this gorgeous little critter who was dumped full of cat flu. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the urban farmyard where this city girl goes country. This gorgeous little creature is a tiny little kitten who we saved a couple of months ago. A couple of months? 6 to 8 weeks ago, I would say. She is absolutely tiny for her age, and that is because she was dumped with severe cat flu. This poor little creature was found not far from our animal sanctuary, dumped with her brother in a cow shed, and she was so full of flu that by the time she was found by our kind family, she had already lost her eye. These two mangy, sickly, scrawny little creatures were brought into us, and we jumped into action to get them back up and running and into a picture of health and ready for adoption. And this is how we did it. The first thing we did was we started them on meds. Now, the particular drug I used was azithromycin, which is a pharmaceutical product which is often prescribed for humans. It is a broad-spectrum antibiotic which is very long-acting. It lasts for about 10 days in their system. That's a really good product for us. Most cat pharmaceuticals have to be dosed twice a day, which is fine for friendly cats, but for those that are quite wild, and we have a lot of wildlings through here, you can hear Winnie Witch meowing to get out of the room. Those cat products are fine for friendly cats, but for little wildlings, dosing them twice a day is really difficult. Now, this little dot was not a wildling, but we still chose to use azithromycin with her because it meant that we could give her one dose every 10 days until she was well, rather than dosing her twice a day as we would have to with other products. We also started her on eye cream because while she'd lost one eye, the other eye was still intact. It was just really runny and sore. So we put her on a product called Clawsig, which is also a human grade product. It's an eye ointment that's used for conjunctivitis, isn't it? Yeah. And we dosed that 3 times a day. Clawsig is a product that is prescribed by vets, but we can also get it just direct from the pharmacy, and you can use it up to every 2 hours in cats. And that did a really good job of saving both her brother's eyes and the last remaining eye that this little girl, you're a wriggle butt this morning, that this little girl still had remaining. Next thing we needed to do was to get some decent nutrition into these little guys. Now, we feed our little ones dry food 24/7, and then we supplement with wet food. The dry food that we chose for these little ones was Royal Canin Mother and Baby. It's a really good product for little ones. It is packed with nutrition. It's high in fat and high in protein, and it's loaded with nutrients and minerals. And it is also a really good size for them. The kibble is quite small, and it's easy for little ones to pick up and chew in their little mouths when they've just got baby teeth. Now, dry food on its own wasn't going to be enough for these little ones, so we supplemented it with Royal Canin Recovery. Now, this is not sponsored. These are just great products that we buy ourselves and choose to use for our wee ones. Royal Canin Recovery is a convalescent product. It's used for any animal that has come through major surgery, major illness, and really need to put on weight. It is packed with nutrients, it's very high in protein, and it's very high in fat, which all helps them to build body mass again. It is also highly palatable. It is a consistency which little ones find really easy to eat. They don't have to chew it, they can more lap it, and it helps them to put on weight really quickly. So we had this little girl in the rescue centre for a number of weeks until she had mostly cleared her cat flu and was starting to look a little bit better, but she was still not putting on sufficient weight in the cattery, and so at that stage we opted to send her out to foster care with her brother, where she would get one-on-one or two-on-one attention from a foster family. That worked incredibly well, and that took her from mostly over cat flu to being a picture of health. She has put on weight and finally reached 1 kilogram kilogram, which is our target weight for all our little ones, and her fur is looking amazing now. One of the key things for this little one was when her foster mum transitioned her off Royal Canin recovery and popped her onto regular meat. Now she did that because it was good nutrition wise, but also was going to help exercise those little teeth in that little jaw and get her eating regular meat, hey. So what she fed her was raw kangaroo meat, which is what her dog was eating, and this little guy absolutely loved it, and so she spent a couple of weeks eating raw food before she was transferred back to us. So this little one was at risk of staying with me permanently. She has got the biggest purr. She is just an absolute delight. And despite not having one eye, it doesn't seem to bother her. However, someone stepped up and asked if they could adopt both her and her brother. So they're going to separate homes, but people asked if they could adopt both of them before we even advertise them. And so these two little ones are going into their new homes. This little dot is going into a gorgeous family with a mum called Courtney, who I am sure is going to love her for the next decade and beyond. So that's really exciting. Her new foster family is going to need to be a little bit careful with her in terms of letting her outside, simply because she's lost the vision in one eye. That's going to make it difficult for her to see things like cars coming from that particular side, but aside from that, she's going to be right as rain. That's our little one, and that's today. We will see you back here tomorrow. Bye bye.